Hello, it's Glenn from History Rocks here, and today we're going to do a resource review of an app called Lithodomos Explore. Now, I was fortunate enough to speak with the guys at Lithodomos, a great set of guys, and they told me that in 2016 they set up the company with the aim of bringing the ancient world back to life. Now, they've managed to do this using lots of archaeological reports and surveys and working with 3D modelers to provide virtually photorealistic recreations of these various sites. Now, the app itself is free to download on iOS and Android. There are premium parts of the app though, but we'll talk about those later on. Now, there's two ways to view it. The first is through virtual reality, which you might do with something like this, which is very similar to Google Cardboard, or you might do with something like this, which is maybe a bit more substantial, not very expensive, but maybe a bit more immersive. The other way of doing it though is to use the built-in gyroscope within your device itself, which for me is perfect because I don't really have access to VR at my school, but I don't have to because we've got iPads. So let's have a look at the app itself. Right, so this is the app itself, and there are various sites around the world, and you can see underneath the name of each site it's got the number of scenes. So if we have a look at the Coliseum, you can see just underneath it says there are 33 different scenes. So let's have a little look at that. So we come to here, and you can see using the gyroscope I now don't have to use a VR headset to start looking around, and there's a full 360 kind of view here, and you can see that this particular world is populated. Now underneath you can see all the various scenes that there are within this particular site. So the first one, let's have a look at the Emperor's Box. Okay, so we're now in the Emperor's Box. And we're looking around within the Coliseum, and I have been to the Coliseum, and it's absolutely an amazing site. And if you haven't been, I really suggest you go. But I can imagine that this is a very faithful recreation. Now in the bottom right hand corner you can see there's an information tab which gives you a little bit of information, but then the map marker above will take you to the actual geolocation of it with the coordinates as well, so that you can actually go to that place and see it for yourself. Okay, let's have a look at another scene. So let's have a look at the underground. Let's go and have a look at the underground, because a lot of the children don't realise that actually this wasn't just one building, it was a whole series of buildings and a network underneath to make sure that everything moved smoothly, just like a modern theatre nowadays. So there's all those various scenes within the Coliseum. Let's have a look at the Roman bathhouse. Oops. What's the Roman bathhouse? So you can see what a Roman bathhouse might have looked like in the UK, in Bath. Again, glorious detail. Let's go through a different scene. So here we are at the Sacred Spring. Again, I'm thinking about the kind of the opportunities for the children here, and saying, right, well, what can you tell about the materials, the detail that's there? What does this tell us about the people? Was this an important building? How can you tell? And as soon as you put this in front of the children, you start moving around with it, they're going to be engaged with it. Absolutely, 100%. And finally, let's take a trip to Greece. We'll go to Greece. And let's go to the Acropolis itself. So now we're at the Acropolis, and again we could talk about the size, the grandeur of it, the materials, why these things are here, what they're here for, what does that tell us about the people and the things that they had access to and what they believed. And then let's take a little trip, let's have a look. So here we are, look, just before the statue of Athena. So again we could look at the gorgeous detail that it's in. It's virtually photorealistic, and we could look at the materials and the size of this, and obviously what this means to people. We could look at the various columns if we wanted to do with Greece, and you know, I just think if you put this in the child's hands, they're going to be blown away by it, and if this does actually help bring history to life. So there are loads more scenes that I could show you, but we've only got so much time. Now there are premium versions available, Virtually every first scene of each site is available for free. But if you want to look at some of the ones that I've been looking at there, then you do have to pay for them, and each subscription is per device. Subscription works though you can do for a couple of days, a week, a month, or even a year if you want to, which means that you're not tied into something. If you only want to look at a particular thing for a few days, you only have to buy a few days worth of subscription, which is great. You're not tied into it for a long period of time. Now, Lithodomos themselves are very keen to work with teachers, so it might be worth getting in touch with them, and I'll put links in the description to their website as well to see what they can do for you. So, go and download the app, let me know how you get on with it, and go and bring history to life.